Yo, how is everybody doing? We're back with another stream for the Bankroll challenge on this nice Tuesday afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well. Just double checking if all the settings and everything is live, but YouTube looks fine, Twitch looks fine. Got the Bankroll sheet, everything. We got the chat. We got 2 tables at the moment. Hopefully we can find some more, which is what I'm setting up at the moment. And yeah, let's get into it. I'm already on the waiting list for, I think, all the other tables. So just gonna open sit 2 tables in case somebody wants to join. Got the chat here on the right, that's perfect. Didn't want to pin that. Alright, perfect, there we go. Table 1 and table 2 here, no hands at the moment. And let's see if everything's going well. Music should also be in the background. Let me see if I can get the chat in a different window for YouTube. Perfect, then I should be able to close this one here. Alright, Twitch and YouTube chat. Everything there. Awesome, announcement on Discord is live as well. There we go. Gunner's fold. The ace 8 facing an up from under the gun. And yeah, seem to give a recreation in the big blind. Gonna note that down. And then have a quick look at the lobby again. Maybe there's another table. I might even add some 15L tables today if we can't find enough 25 tables, but we should be able to. We have those 2 tables and we got a 3rd one as well. So that's looking good. Which is this one over here. Perfect. So we got 3 tables. Hopefully get a 4th table in a second. And then we get the stream going. Should have enough time today to do a, somewhat long stream. And yeah, trying to push towards the 1K mark so we can move up to 15L. If not, nothing happens either. I just sort of wanted to add one more thing, but yeah, that's fine. And we have this guy posting on table 2. Potential other recreational, which is great. The overview's not working yet because we still have only 3 tables, but it's fine. We'll just wait. Sure, they're gonna fill up anytime. And Barty, the Voldemort asks Bankroll, so this hopefully gives you the link to a. Let's just play that hand really quick. Went check, and then I'll get back to you about the Voldemort. So we open, we defended, went check. Going to start value betting my top pair now. We get a call. And Rivers, fortress rate. He can definitely have a 6x, but I think he can have a lot of weaker top pairs. So I'm just gonna block bet this here for really small sizing. Trying to get caught by weaker 8, ace 6, ace 5 maybe. And if he raises, we have a fairly easy fold. Don't think he's gonna turn anything into bluff there. And then we have a table number 4 as well, which is great. So let me get that one in there as well. Should be this one over here. Perfect. Alright, now we've had 4 tables. So yeah, good to see you, first time chat. Barty Voldemort. So we're doing a Bankroll challenge, trying to get from 500 to 5K. I think we're at 880, 890, something like that. Once we reach 1K, we're gonna move up to 15L. Once we reach 2K, we're gonna move up to 100L, and then once we have 3.5, 4K, go up to 200L, and the goal is basically to showcase how I would play, trying to get from micros, low stakes, all the way up to mid stakes. If I had to start all over again, I usually play stakes from 200 to 1k. So kind of trying to showcase that for you guys with day 15. So not too long in the challenge. And yeah, good to have you. Feel free to leave a follow so you get notified whenever we get live the next time. You can continue watching the journey. And otherwise, yeah, enjoy the stream. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Hard is also in the chat. Good to see you. Hi, how are you doing, man? Happy to have you. Same goes for you. If you have any questions, let me know. And otherwise, just enjoy the stream, guys. Got 4 tables going now. Let's see if we can get some hands, if we can get some action. If you've played hands differently than me, you know, always open and curious to hear your opinions. Blindy blind. See a min open. Pretty easy defend. Unfortunately, nothing really there for us on that flop. We got a 5th table going as well. Yeah, just going to fold. So let me table 5. Those are outer tables, so just gonna have some tables in case one of the other table breaks. We get the queen 10 off, which we're gonna open raise, 3-handed, and otherwise you can see those 4 tables on the mainstream. Let's see, trying to figure out who the regs and who the recreational is. So this guy definitely the regular. Plays in a couple of tables. The Sebastian guy also seems to be a regular. Playing on a few of these tables here. Table 4 against main open from the hijack with the ante. I think we're gonna defend the 10-4 suited, flopping a flush draw on a board that's quite good for the hijack. And he goes check check, which is interesting. I want to go for quite a large sizing here once he checks back. Really attack his check back range with my flush draws here and basically be super polar. Either saying I have a very strong hand like 2-pair better or a bluff, and he actually calls very quickly, which is interesting. Gonna give up on the 10. We have some showdown values, not gonna win very often, occasionally maybe, but once he calls, don't think we have or once he calls a very big overbet, I don't think it's all that great to bluff, and we can bluff with a hand like 4-3 still, 6-3, 6-4, and then he goes all in. Seems like he was laying a trap for us, maybe with pocket kings, but yeah, just gonna let it go. Interesting to see a very quick check back and then a very quick call. We'll get ace king in the very next hand. Blindy blind, gonna open raise it. And take it down. A few hands here now, the queen 10 off on table 1. Ace 2, so we could potentially play, and the 10-8 suited on table 4. Let's see where we get action. Gonna fold to the 3-bet on table 1. And zoom in on table 4 against the 3-bet. I'm going to call. And we flop a flush draw on another good board for the pre-flop aggressor. Expect him to just range bet small or half pot. Really good board Can also go for half pot. We're just gonna smooth call in position. Not gonna play any raises here. Obviously just trying to hit our flush. We hit a pair, which, you know, could sometimes be good. So when our opponent checks over to us, I don't think we need to bluff here. We can have queen, jack, jack 10. Other flush draws that we bluff here. I think the flush draws with a pair. We can just take our showdown and check it back. Stream seems a bit laggy, but hopefully it goes away. Interesting now if he were to bet, but seeing a check, I'm just really happy to take my showdown, hoping to win. And we win against ace jack, which is great. Bet once and gave up. Gonna take a note on his quick check there. And yeah, let's continue. Let me just see why the I think because of both streams running in HD. I'll reduce the quality there. And yeah, let's continue the stream. Pocket sevens on the outer table. We're open raising from under the gun. Not sure who the regs and the recreationals are on this table. We see a small 3-bet, could be a sign of a recreational. It's a very small 3-bet in position with the anti-structure. Going to call for that price. Unfortunately, we don't flop a set. We don't even have a club, so we'll just have to fold against the c-bet. Even against a very small c-bet without a club, we're just not doing anything there. Sure, we could be ahead of king queen, but you know, getting to showdown, navigating that is going to be really, really tough, so we just have to fold. We open raise the king queen off on table 1. We get another 3-bet here. Can go either way here between calling and 4-betting. I think both options are fine. Let's see what the big blind does. Obviously, if the big blind gets involved as well, we just have to be out of there. But we see a fold. Gonna go for the 4-bet this time with a reasonable candidate in position. We do take it down, which is awesome. Table 5, this outer table, I might bring this in and switch it with one of the main tables. Under the gun, I think, is just straddling. So a fish that, you know, gives some action, which is definitely great for us. We just need to get a hand now. Just straddles and then folds. But definitely interesting. Keep an eye on him, how he plays. Meanwhile, we got the pocket jacks on table 1. We see an open raise. Going to simply 3-bet. I'm not going to play any flat calls from the cutoff. Would generally avoid playing flat calls on low and microstakes, just so we don't have to pay any extra rake. Got to play in position. See a 4-bet. Not loving this spot with pocket jacks, but I think we still just about have to call this one here, being in position. Obviously, always have the chance to flop a set, and on boards like this it gets dicey. Obviously, we still lose to queens plus, but you know, his ace king and other c-bet bluffs missed. He goes for the 30%-ish c-bet. Nothing to do really by the call. Hoping for the jack on the turn or just another low card. And the ace is probably the worst card in the deck. But he checks quickly, which is very interesting. Looks a lot like queens jacks. Sorry, queens or kings to be me. But I don't think we want to bluff our pocket jacks. So just gonna check this behind. And we see another very, very quick check. This is super tempting to almost bluff there. But I think we're just going to take our showdown. Maybe as a king 10, 10-9 suited, pocket jacks himself. Ace deuce. Yeah, I don't think he was going to fold that hand either. But interesting that he doesn't go for value there. Table 4, we have a cold 4-bet. So cut off open button. 3 bet, we called 4 bet, flop a king high flop, going for a small c-bet, and we take it down. And back to table 1, we're just gonna note that this guy can 4 bet bluff somewhat loose with ace deuce even, which is not, you know, what everybody does on 25 and L. And then, you know, the snap check is kind of capped. We see another 3 bet here, loads of action right away. This time we're gonna be the ones 4 betting. All right, gonna make it. Now we even have too many tables. Jesus Christ. All right, gotta close this. I think I managed to get on every table that's running on 25 and L now, but that's too many, so gonna just have a quick look. But I think the 6 tables that we have running right now are fine, so not gonna get any more, and we take it down. Nachos, hello, what is the maximum amount of rec tables you can possibly pop on coin poker? Very good question. Never tried it. I think it's 12 tables, 9 tables or 12 tables, I'm not sure. Maybe there's also no cap. As I said, I'm only really playing for the challenge, and I'm not playing more than 6 tables on stream, so that's the maximum I'm playing. But maybe you could even play more than that. Ace king multi-way. Think I'm going to check back. Don't hate a small c-bet either, but just small c-bet should be fine. Pretty nice turn. Sound seems fine. Yo Peter, how are you doing? That's good to hear. And now gonna start to bet. I think just gonna go to big 2 straights here with top pair, top kicker. Hoping they have a flush draw, and we get king x. YG take it down. Table 4 we open raised. Gotta defend from the big blind. Pretty nice flop. We get the snap check raise for the small sizing. We have the backdoor flush draw, so that's something. Gonna call 1, but not loving this when he check raises so quickly. Turn is a 5, which is really nice. Reduces the amount of value hands he has. Pocket 5s, queen 5. We block queen 5 suited, which is great. So I think I'm going for a small stab on the turn with the plan of mainly checking back on the river. If he has jack 10 now, he's in a bit of an uncomfortable spot. Maybe he has to fold. If he calls, I don't mind to get some value. Same goes for flush draws. Obviously, if he goes for the double check raise, you can just get out of there. He does end up folding. Take down a nice pot. Table 1, he went check check. We went for a probe on the turn. He called pretty quickly against our large overbet on the turn. And I think now on the river, we have a decent hand to continue bluffing. But obviously not a fan on the ace run out. But I think on this one I'm still gonna go for it. He called relatively quickly, checked red quickly on the flop, so maybe he has some draws himself. And we have an interesting pot going on over here. We went for 3 bet and we got called 4 bet to a large sizing. I think I'm gonna forward jacks here. Like, we're out of position against a large 3 bet, as a large called 4 bet. Don't have any reads on this guy other that he seems to be a regular, but yeah, just gonna fold the jacks there. I don't think we're making much money, if any at all, so just gonna let this one go with some more action. Ace queen getting flatted by a relatively wide recreational, it seems. Gonna start off with a check call. Turn a flush draw, which is great, allows us to check call once more for sure. We see a small barrel. tempting to raise this. Doesn't seem very strong, so I'm gonna put in the raise, hoping we not get jammed on. And do just take it down, so the read there was good. Table 4, with so much dead money out in the middle, just gonna 4-bet jam my ace king off with a flat and then a small squeeze. We take that one down as well. It's good. We have one more table, but I think again we have enough tables, so just gonna let this one go. Table 1 we get 3-bet, very large. Just gonna fold my ace 8 there. And look at this, on table 3 we just defended a big blind and flopped the absolute nuts. Turn is interesting how we want to proceed, whether we want to bet out ourselves or we want to check. I think on the 10 he's gonna pick up a lot of draws as well as some 10x. I can go either way, gonna go for a check. And we see the pot delay size, which obviously makes me very, very happy. I'll just pretend like I'm thinking about it and calling. And then hopefully he fires another bet on the river. Now the jack gets there, which hopefully inclines him to bet some more of his bluffs. And if he obviously had a jack, I think he's going to bet. See another pot size bet, going to jam. Now if he has pocket tens, good for him. But yeah, maybe this guy isn't a regular by the way he's playing. It's a bit of a interesting sizing scheme. Hands that we could potentially turn into a bluff here would be a hand like 10-8, 10-7, blocking the full houses that he could have. Especially having the 10 might be quite good. And yeah, then we're gonna go for it all. Get the fold. Looked a bit bluffy his line, despite the big bet. What's he really wrapping? So yeah, definitely noteworthy. Pot delay, bluff twice. Alright, decent start to the session. Win a few medium-sized pots. Let's see if we can get the momentum going. Sebastian definitely an aggro guy. 4-bet bluffs, delay bluffs. So we're gonna keep in mind that he potentially is a bit out of line. On table 6 we opened the button. Gonna go for a small c-bet here. Could also play some checkbacks. The wheel ace high boards aren't that great. Get a call. Don't really pick up any equity in the turn. We have a heart in our hand. It's probably not a bluff, but I think we can sometimes fire here. Having a heart in our hand with some absolute air balls, and then continue bluffing if the river is like anything where the 8-7, 8-6 kind of completes. But we get the min raise on the turn, so picked the wrong time there. I think it's okay to occasionally throw in the little airball bluff. Kobe B says good luck, thanks very much. Also first time chat, good to see so many new guys tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise would definitely appreciate if you guys leave a follow. Helps out the stream. You get notified whenever we go live the next time. And yeah, just kind of shows me you guys are enjoying. See a little min donk here from the recreational. Just gonna raise this up. This is generally quite weak. Obviously depends from recreational to recreational, but we want to play aggressive against these min donks and kind of just treat them as checks. And definitely have the min donk is weak now. We can note this down, and the next time maybe he leads larger, we know it's stronger. If he min donks out again, we know we can be aggressive. Obviously our hand, we had 2 overs, vector straight, vector flush draw, so we had a very reasonable hand as well to bluff raise there. Just a few folds everywhere. Let me take a sip of water then. Going for the 3-bet against the cutoff on table 1, taking it down. Going for a loose-ish open raise here from the button. Getting punished right away. Table 5, we open raise, we get caught by the recreational again. Just gonna check forward my hand on this flop. Even against a small bet. He's playing wide, but not super wide, and being quite tight formations. Really tough to realize some equity with pocket 5s, no heart there. Table 1, we open raise the ace queen off from middle position. See a 3-bet from a short stack guy, tight positions. This is close. I think I'm going to flat call this though. Sizing is a bit on the smaller end. Flop 2 over, spectre straight draw and a flush draw. He checks to me on a board that's fairly good for him. Interesting. Don't mind betting or checking here. I think I just check back, realize my equity. Turn is a 4. Doesn't really change anything. He goes for a large bet now. A little bit annoying, but I think we have to fold now. Our outs aren't always clean on this run out. And we could see behind ace king in these positions. We're going for the 3-bet here with ace king. We got the 4-bet and we're gonna send it. Taking just a second and chipping it in, hoping for folds ideally. But always with ace king. Either option is fine. We don't see the snap call, so expect mainly a fold. Unless he has like jacks 10s, which he should be calling, but who knows. Really not sure which hand he is tanking with here, but we're always happy to take down whatever 20 something big blinds. You would defend the 5-4 against the min open. With the ante you want to be a little looser, so against min opens you already have to defend quite wide, and then with the ante involved, even on 25 and L, you just gotta defend those hands. And then we don't have any other hands at the moment. Open raising the ace-5 on sorry, table 5. Against the recreational, interesting board. You can either go for a small c-bet or just check back and then let him bluff. This board with the weak ace, I don't mind just checking. We don't really need any protection. We can just check and then let him blast off with random air, like he hopefully does right now. Obviously, if he keeps betting small, we could also put in a raise at some point, but just calling and pretty much calling down any river. Obviously, quite a nice river. If he has a better ace, good for him. He goes for a large bet. Can we raise here? Does he really bet small with an ace on the turn? Not sure. I think we can go for a small raise here. Just trying to get called by a 9 potentially. Thanks for the follow, Termi Kid. Good to have you. See a fold, just kind of what I expected. A lot of the times just a bluff, but yeah, I think he can call a 9 there. so I don't mind going for the raise there for thin value. Just hard to see how we're behind, right? Like on a double flush draw board on a turn, he would need to have probed small with a 2-pair or a better ace, and I just don't really see that happening. Alright, let's see if we can get some other hands somewhere. What doesn't look too great at the moment. There's an all-in on table 3. A 3-bet and a quote 4-bet jam. Looks a lot like ace-king. I'm not really sure he needs to play 4-bet jams there as the in-position player. We have the 9-8 suited here on table number 2. Get a defend from the big blind. And just gonna go for a small c-bet. Taking it down, table 5. We went for this ISO raise in this weird bomb pot where everybody posts like 0.10s of a blind. And yeah, now we wait for some more hands. "20 people tuning in. Really happy to see you guys. We're also streaming over on YouTube. If any of you guys prefer the stream there, feel free to check out the YouTube stream as well. Or if you missed the stream, you want to rewatch it later. I think always a couple of hours after the stream, we're gonna upload it on YouTube as well. Got the pocket 5s on table 1. Going to defend the big blind here against an open raise from an unknown regular. And we flop middle set, guys. Seen worse flops for sure for pocket 5s. Not a flop where he should range bet necessarily, but I expect them to bet a decent amount. And obviously quite happy to see the large c-bet on such a dry board. Going to put in the raise right away against a strong range with a very strong hand. Could just call for sure, but I think if he kind of tells us he has a strong hand, we just want to go for the raise right away. Table 5, it's interesting. We see a 5x open from the recreation, so you're gonna defend my pocket 4s. I think just hitting a set is so valuable, and sometimes he just checks it down, or like lets us realize our equity somewhat cheaply. And it's a small bet. We're still gonna float one. We have a backdoor straight draw as well. Turn an open ender. Seems like we're gonna lose some money in this hand unless we improve. He checks back instantly, which is just great. Think I'm going to bluff my hand there. I don't think he checks back a flush draw that quick, and I think we can put a lot of pressure on 5x through pocket jacks. Hard to see as many bluffs here on this run out, even from our recreation, and when they check back so quickly, they're gonna be kept. Yes, we have some showdown value. Maybe we had the best hand, but don't want to find out if I have a chance to bluff as well. I think that's just better. And yeah, this guy is straddling, so definitely good to have this guy on our table. On table 4, we have the 5-4 suited. We see an open raise from EP. We can go either way here between call or 3-bet, but somebody 3-bets in front of us, so just gonna have to let this go. Would have been a nice flop, interesting flop for the 5-4. I have the buck on table 1 where even though I'm already sitting, I have to rebuy, so this means I have to close this table because it's not gonna be working. Which is unfortunate. Not sure how to fix that bug. If any of you guys play on CoinPoker know how to fix that bug, feel free to let me know, but for me, just whenever this happened, I kind of had to close the table. So I'm gonna look for one more new table. While we play the ace deuce against our friend the recreational, who donks out small again. I'm not gonna give a lot of respect to those donks, just gonna raise it up. Especially with a weak ace, we benefit from folding out his better ace-x hands that he might have randomly let out. And he just folds again. Table 2 against a short stack recreation. I'm gonna start with a large bet. I want to be able to potentially jam some turns in case he calls. If the runner gets really, really dicey, and if he's a pair plus a draw, just gonna get the money in as quickly as possible. Table 6, we defend blindly flop an open ender. We see a half pot c-bet, which is slightly concerning on a flop where he should probably just mainly go small. I'm just gonna call. Could consider raising, wouldn't be the end of the world there. But in position, I don't mind just playing it smooth and calling. Turn is a queen, which is not great because now our jack is not worth too much when, you know, a king makes a better straight. He checks it over. And for the same reasons, I think I'm just going to check back my 8-7 and would bluff some other hands there. That being said, actually think I'm going for the bluff there with the club. I think with a knight, and without the club, definitely checking back. Yeah, maybe I should just check back. Realize my equity. Not a spot where I expect him to really check raise too much, but yeah. I think either way here is fine. We're heads up against Goldie on also table 6. But I think table 1 more interesting where we defend against the recreational. Goes check, check, we turn a pair. Just going to check it over to him. If he's bluffing, wanna continue calling. Checks again really, really quickly. Could have rivered a queen occasionally, but I think at this point we can go for a block bet against a 6, 4, pocket 7s, pocket 8s. Sometimes gonna lose against a better hand, but definitely also getting value. Make sure you don't miss those thin value bets. Why is table 6 not showing the right table? Sorry guys, 1 second. We have, that should be our table 6. Perfect, there we go. Going for the large 3-bet on the button. Against the 4-bet, we can either call or jam. Both options are fine. This guy, unknown reg, goes for the 4-bet. Gonna just chip it in. Could call here as well. Both options are fine in positions. The higher the rake, the more jamming you want to do. Taking down those 24 bigs from our opponent would be great. He calls. Has kings, so we need some help. Ace on the flop, guys. He's drawing very, very thin, and we got a little lucky there. So yeah, unlucky for opponent, but we definitely take it. Can't complain. He only wanted to run it once. We have to run it twice on, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. Maybe if we would have run it twice, could have chopped the pot, but obviously we're happy to run a little well. And those all in, it's important in poker. Let's go back to the overview and see if we get some more hands. Still trying to get one more table. Potentially one with a recreational would be nice. Went for a slightly loose open here in the button. Gonna go for a small c-bet. Could also check back, but my hand doesn't play that well in a check back line. I can pick up some equity after betting. Turns a 7, just gonna check back here. Won't really improve at all here. Gonna keep it simple and just check it back and maybe bluff if he checks to me again, depending on the run out. King is a good card to bluff for sure if he checks. Gonna definitely go for a bet here. Or 5x would have raised the flop. He can have some king x for sure himself. He goes for a large bet. I don't think he can do much against a large bet though, so just gonna let it go. A potential interesting hand developing on table 3 where we 3-bet 180 big blinds deep against MP. If we get 4-bet here, probably just folding in those type positions. Would have been potentially interesting hand if we would have gotten a call there. Open raising the 10 it off. And getting a 3-bet, so we just have to fold. This guy also seems to be a reg, plays multiple tables. And table 6, we are gonna defend blindy blind, flop second pair. Pretty decent hand, blindy blind. Against a small c-bet, we could even consider raising here. It's quite a dynamic board. Don't hate the idea of raising to then check back the turn. Goes with the half pot bet again. I really prefer raising against a small bet. Against half pot I think I'm just gonna play call. See what sizing he picks on the turn. 9 completes some draws with a 10-9, a jack-10, brings in 2 flush draws. Would really prefer to see a check there, not a large barrel. And against a check we just have a very clear check back. Bang on middle of our range. If you had a queen, we have a decision to bet. If you have something worse than a 3, we have a decision to whether we bluff or not with an 8. Don't really have any decision, and we have a decision now on the river if he bets whether or not we want to bluff catch. If he checks, I think our hand again is a bit too weak to value bet. I think any 9 or better probably value bet, so this hand just checks back. And we're losing against the queen. I think this is a typical mistake by opponent, not value betting this hand at some point after he c-bet the flop. But we're definitely happy. Would have probably just called my ace-8 there. Table 1 we go for 3, but we face a very, very large 4-bet, which I think is another mistake. We're not deep, so there's no reason to go this large. This just allows me to get away of hands like this from pre-flop that otherwise would need to defend against the 4-bet, and if I have the very strongest hands, I get it in. So basically it makes it really hard for him to be bluffing here. But yeah, again, not complaining. Table 4 we have the pocket deuces blindy blind. Gonna defend. Don't flop anything. Let's see if again goes for the half pot bet, which you know was a little bit stronger. And yeah, then with pocket deuces on a board that's already has a straight out there, I'm just gonna fold. Table 6, can play a lot of strategies, pretty much any sizing is fine here. Gonna start with a large bet on a bit more connected board with my ace king. See a call. Pretty nice turn. He obviously improves to Queen Jack, but other than that, pretty decent turn for us. I think I'm gonna barrel for a pot. And he calls again. Brickish run out. He could have ace 4, king 4 occasionally, but I think my hand can definitely go for value. Can we go for stacks here? Didn't raise the turn, so I think so. And all the draws kind of missed. So this is thin, but we beat every ace and every weaker king X. You know, if he has king 10, ace 10, we win. We block ace. We don't block ace 4 suited, but we block king 4 suited, which is great because he doesn't have king 4 off. And if he had a hand like jack 9, queen 9, we might decide to bluff this. So gonna go for it all. Hope we don't get snapped. Think a 4x of clubs would have called by now, but we never know what these takes. Now we just need to hope we get the hero. Fortunately we don't, but definitely happy to just take it down. Win another nice pot there. I think on the run out, that bricky, you know, he can call every king, every queen if he puts us on a bluff, so I want to just go for the max. Table 2, we go for the 3-bet against AP, we take it down. This guy's also a regular. And see if we can get a 5th table going. Maybe this one here, while table 6 we flop a set, so definitely running good at the moment. Starting with a small c-bet, and unfortunately we just get the fold. Table 3, we open up the ace jack. Also deeper here, we have to keep that in mind. Pretty dry-ish looking flop. Can you go for bets or checks here? I think both options are fine. The God of Poker, first time chat, good to have you in the chat. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Feel free to, or with that link you should see the current bankroll. And we're, I think, just under 900 bucks trying to get to 1k, so we can play 15L. Gonna go for a large delay c-bet here on the jack, and I have a lot of draws like the king queens, queen 10. There's see a fairly quick call, flush on the river, overcard. It's not great. Could we go for value here? Potentially, but without a club, I think it's actually too thin. Yeah, king jack we get value from, jack 10, jack 8 maybe. But I think we just have to make a tight check back. And winning against pocket 7s, interesting card on the turn. Definitely okay. But yeah, on table 5, which is not the right one. 1 second. It is this one. We go for the 3-bet with the ace 5 suited. Yeah, feel free to leave a follow as well. The God of Poker would always appreciate it, and you get notified whenever we go live next. Helps out the stream, and you can follow the bankroll challenge as we move higher and higher, hopefully. Going for a small c-bet here. If we face a check raise, unfortunately we have to fold. Don't have enough equity, we just an over and some backdoor draws. Going for 3-bet here on table number 2. And we take it down. Table 3, we face a 3.8 open raise sizing, and then we see a small c-bet. Do we want to go for a raise or a call here? I think both options are definitely on the table. Gonna go for the raise this time. See a call, ace on the turn. doesn't change all that much. Do I want to keep barreling, keep selling my story of having a jack, or just check? I think I am gonna keep barreling here. See another call, and we get a 10 on the river. Everything bricks. We have a few hands going on, so just give me a second, guys. I think the queen 10 I'm going to give up on the river now. Just too often running into a jack. And then the 9-8 with 3-bet, we got check raised. We see a small bet on the turn. Which is really, really interesting. Still just folding though. We only have a gut shot. 9 and 8 might not be live. In table 6, he went check, check. We big bet the turn. We improve on the river. You see a large bet now from in position. Very interesting. Does a 9 go for the greedy over bet there? I think, timing out there. I think I wanted to call this, but maybe better to just fold it and let it go actually. It's good that we timed out. Really weird hand, for sure. Sorry for the lack of commentary there, just had to play those hands. Let's see if we can get some more interesting hands. Here with the ace 3. On table number 5. Going to open raise that one. Flop 2 pair, which is a decent start. On a board that's not the best for us, obviously it would be okay to just go for a check back or a small c-bet, but I think on 25 now I'm still just going to c-bet small. Don't think people are aggressive enough. 1 second, guys. Sorry, somebody on the door there. We go for the c-bet, turn comes a 4. Pretty bad card for us. So just going to check this back. And on the river, we have a very reasonable bluff catcher. He can have 4 as well, but obviously 5, 6, 6, 7 type of hands. So plan will be to bluff catch. If he checks, we have a very easy value bet. Trying to get called by like a 10 or weak pocket pair. If you get check raised, it's gonna be a tough spot. But I think we can very easy 40 calls quickly. And max, which we're happy with. And take down another little pot there. I hope you're all enjoying the stream. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the chat. We're doing a bankroll challenge, trying to get from 500 to 5k. I think the current bankroll, let me actually double check, after last session was 888 bucks. And so once we reach 1k, we're gonna move up to 15L. Maybe even if you're at like 950 or something, we might mix in a table or two of 15L. Basically just trying to simulate how I would start out if I had to play again with the bankroll starting with 500 bucks. Start like 10, 25 NL and build my way up playing a site like Coin. Obviously could do it on another site as well. We're not affiliated or anything, but I think it's on a site that most of you guys watching will have access to compared to some of the other sites. I think it's a good option. Your decent rake pack, the rake is not so high, you have recreationals. I think there's even a leaderboard for those of you guys who like to play a lot of hours. And yeah, that would be my way of trying to make it out of the micros to mid stakes. And then if we eventually make it to 5k, you know, that should be decent enough of a bankroll to play 200 NL. If I were to start out from the beginning, I'd obviously trying to find someone with a little bit more experience, maybe a friend, a coach, someone who plays higher, to make that process faster. Maybe some training content to improve quicker. This is an interesting spot here because this guy straddles from EP, so there's more dead money out there. If it forces us, we're definitely going to raise it up, but I would be lying to know the exact ranges and sizings that we're going to be using here. But you know, you play against a recreational anyway, so probably good to expand a little bit and trying to steal the dead money really wide. This guy played fairly passive, straightforward so far. Table 3, we have an open raise going to 3-bet here to 11 bigs against our friend. I think he's opening 2.2x, so I'm a bit surprised to see the sizing. But maybe I was just not paying attention, and this is standard open raise size. And we get the 4-bet. King 10 is really, really close in those positions. He goes somewhat small, which is tempting to call, and he did... Oh no, this is another guy. That was the guy 4-bet bluffing. So I think I'm just gonna let this one go. It's really, really close. Table 6, interesting hand. We went for the flop large bet with the pocket 7s, turning our hand into bluff right away and being the absolute dream card. We're just gonna blast off here, hoping he has like a top pair that is not able to fold, but unfortunately he just lets it go. And we'll zoom out with the Jack 10 suited on table 1. Very, very pretty looking hand. And we see an open raise going to 3-bet. And we flop pocket, we flop trips down on table 1 after defending. It's a small bet, and we see a large bet, which is really, really interesting. Again, this board is a lot better for me, so I'm quite surprised to see this. But we're just gonna raise it up, not gonna, you know, mess around here. If we have trips, he goes for a large bet. We're going to c-bet. Not loving the flush, but going to continue small. And also for you guys, we flop 2 pair here in the 3-bet pot, and we're just gonna go bet, bet, bet. If we're not timing out, hopefully. So we'll keep you updated on both of those hands. Table 1, we take it down, and then table 6, we went for the block bet, we got called, and I'm going to block bet the river still. After we get here, it gets quite thin, not gonna lie, but if he has aces, ace king, you know, 1 pair hand, I think he's still going to call, and I don't think he's necessarily bluff raising hand like pocket jacks with a spade. So yeah, happy to get some value there. Not the ideal run out, but definitely good enough. Table 5, here we play against a recreational. Went check check on the flop. Going to bluff here. Obviously he could just check back an ace and is bluff catching twice here, but if he doesn't have an ace, maybe just has like a random 7 pocket 8s. But this time he did have a good hand, but don't be Yeah, don't be afraid to bluff here once they check back. Recreational is usually fold enough in this line. And yeah, that's it for the moment. No hands that we have going on. We're live for an hour now. Probably gonna do 2 hours stream in total. Let me know if you guys have any questions about the hands, would have played hands differently, etc, etc. We have a potential hand here that we could 3-bet. Against cutoff for sure, against hijack it's a little bit loose. But I don't mind being slightly more aggressive in position here. So we're gonna go for the 3-bet. The response from hijack, if we're a little bit more aggressive with our 3-bets, would be to 4-bet a lot and tighten pre. Don't think that's going to happen. We get a call, get an okay looking flop. Queen high, very disconnected. Can use like 25, 33, even half pot bet wouldn't be the worst there. Gonna start with a small 25 c-bet, 25% c-bet. With some backdoor straight draws, we can barrel nicely on a king, on a 10. Obviously a jack and a 9 could be good occasionally. And if you get check raised, I mean, we have the easiest fold in our life, but I think this flop is good enough. He doesn't have deuces and fives all that often, so we can just range bet. Wouldn't be the worst hand. It's obviously check back. With the king 10, this one I think is a bit too weak to 3-bet, but if it folds around us, we're definitely gonna raise it up. Which it does. And we take it down. Table 3, we open raise the ace-9 suited from under the gun. If we face any resistance here, we'll just have to fold. 7-handed under the gun, ace-9 is, you know, by no means a premium hand. People are in the tank. And we see the min 3-bet, so I thought this guy is a recreational, sorry, a regular, but seems to be a recreational. Against his sizing, we're definitely calling, not folding any hand, especially not a suited hand. And especially not that deep. Flop a top pair, this could be dicey. This could be dicey for sure. Goes check check, which makes me somewhat happy. Queen is not a great card, but I think I'm still gonna check call 1, and we also flop bottom set and 3-bet pot over on table 6, which I'll show in a second once we face the c-bet there, which we don't on a king high board. We don't face the c-bet, that's a shame. Still just going to bomb it here in the turn with my deuces now after he checks back. Hoping to get some sort of call. Marchy poker with the follow, appreciate it, mate. Hopefully you get some action with the deuces, would be a shame on a king high board. We do get a call. The heart comes in on the river. And before we go for the value bet here, I think I'm just quickly going to call down on table 3. Even for small delay bet, now half pot on river. If he has a queen, why would he go larger? Lots of potential bluffs there. So we're going to call and lose against ace queen, sure. And table 6. Can we still go for value and jam it in after he checked back? Does he check back a flush draw much? I don't really think so. Do we get called by worse? Not too often. Maybe he checks back a king. Do we go for normal sizing? Really, really interesting here. I think we're still going for all the chips there. If it's a flush, good for him. But just don't really see him checking back a flush draw on a king high board in position a 3-bet pot. More like a king 10, a king 9 maybe. Maybe pocket queens with a heart. Pocket jacks obviously could be there. Right, pocket jacks, checking back, calling the turn. We do just take it down. But yeah, I think if he wants to hero call us, then he can also hero call us there. No matter if we go all in or 75, I don't think it's gonna change too much. Table 1, we defend against the recreational. Unfortunately, we just break and we're just gonna have to check forward. Even against a small bet. Just gonna end up check folding. Thanks a lot, Margie, again for the follow. Hope you're enjoying the stream. If you have any questions, feel free to just drop them in the chat. We went for loose open here in table 1 and end up rivering a pair, which is an interesting hand because it blocks the 2 pairs. If he checks, obviously we just check back, trying to showdown against a 3, pocket 4s, pocket 5s. But if he bets, we have a potential nice hand to bluff raise here, wrapping pocket 6s, wrapping jack 6, ace 6, right, 6-3 suited maybe. Especially if he goes for the block bet. I really like going for the bluff raise here with the river 6 instead of calling. Calling would be fine too, obviously. But gonna go for the bluff raise here instead. And let's see what our opponent does. Obviously, if he has an ace, he's gonna call a decent amount of the time, but maybe if it's a jack, he's in a tough spot. We're wrapping kind of thin, but you know, we're gonna river pocket 6s sometimes. We're gonna river 8-6, jack 6, ace 6, and all of those hands we'd want to raise once we get there, and the opponent gives us credit and calls it off. Table 4, we flatted pre, we went for a small c-bet, turned the set. The flush does complete, so it's a little scary, but we're gonna keep on barreling. And on table 1, we go for the 3-bet and face the min 4-bet from the recreational. This obviously screams strength to me. Could be a random spaz of hand as well, but this is usually quite strong. But you know, in position for 8 more bigs, we're definitely not folding. But we're just gonna keep in mind that he min 3-betted us pre. I mean, quote 4-bet us, sorry. Checks it over to us on an ace-high flop. Again, somewhat suspicious. Could be kings or queens. But I'm just going to take my free equity here. Really want to potentially realize and hit that queen, hit that hard. And goes for a half pot bet. Now we're just out. Another quote 4-bet spot over on table 6, sorry. We 3-bet and we see a quote 4-bet from the button. Sorry, from the small blind. I'm on the button. Can't talk anymore. Pocket 9's the kind of hand that definitely wants to call in position. If you're out of position, it's a little bit dicier. And guys, I would say that's a pretty decent flop for pocket 9's in a quote 4-bet pot. Let's just hope our what's going on today? How can he not range bet this flop? Like, this is nothing hits unless we exactly have pocket 9's. And then we have pocket 9's and he just checks. I mean, we're gonna check it back. Pretend like we didn't see that. Hoping now he starts bluffing his king queen, starts he blasting in money with his overpair that was trying to play tricky in the flop. And there's a big bet. So I guess he was trapping. Really interesting line by him. I think he should just range bet and then double barrel. We obviously have to tank a little bit, pretend like we, you know, have a turn 10, pocket 8s that doesn't know what to do. And hopefully he just sends it in on the river with his overpair. We can snap him off. And surprise, surprise, he has pocket aces. Makes a lot of sense to check the flop then, I guess. And another stack there for us. Obviously quite fortunate, flopping the set there. Table 1 with an interesting hand. We 3-bet, we check twice, and I think I'm going for the value bet now. Sorry, for the bluff now on the river. Make him fold maybe hand like ace-5, pocket 8s, pocket 9s. You can definitely have a jack-hex, could definitely have some overpairs to check back twice on this flop. With a low connected flop, the fortress straight on the turn. Maybe we get him to fold ace-queen, ace-king, that we're still behind against. So happy to take this down. I think if he had some sort of value to start betting at an earlier point. With very little worse hands there, maybe king queen, maybe king 10, but I think we just want to bluff a lot when they check twice. On the table 5, recreational just bombs that flop there in a 3-bet pot. Interesting, good for us. Seems like we have 2 recreationals on table 5, which I actually might switch out some of the other tables where we don't have a recreational. But yeah, for now, just leave it as one of the other tables. We see it in the 6-5 suited. And we get called by the button. I'm just gonna simplify, play a range check here. He has 6s, he has 3s. Always, you know, we have a wider range compared to his cold calling range. So we're just gonna go check, check, and now go for the lazy bet. Sure, we still lose to 7s, 8s, 9s, but we want to get protection and maybe some value from weaker ace high hands. So just gonna go for a block bet here. Would use the same sizing with my queen because his range is gonna be really weak, so I don't wanna blast him money if I have a queen there. Kind of want him to float wide, expecting a lot of folds once he checks back. But my hand quite vulnerable if he has a random king 10 of clubs. Just want to make sure I'm not losing against those. Alright, zoom back out. I'm still trying to get some new tables because this one table, the recreational, just busted, so potentially looking for some new tables on the side. I have no action at the moment on any of those tables. We have an all-in on table 2. I guess it was a 4-bet pot flush draw against top pair. Ventec with the exclamation mark bankroll. Good to see so many new people in the chat. Good to have you. They should give you the link to a Google sheet where you basically keep track of the bankroll. We're at day 15 now, slightly under 900 bucks. Hopefully after today's session we can push ever so closer to our goal of, well, to our intermediate goal of 1k, so we can start playing 50L and then go from there, trying to make it all the way up to 5k. We open raise, we get a flat call from the hijack, which is interesting, and a call from the big blind. Flop bottom pair, well, backdoor flush draw. Starting off with a check. Don't mind. I would be, happy to see a check behind. We see a half pot bet multi-way. This gets somewhat close, but I think I'm still calling with the backdoors. Could consider raising here, but blocking the pocket fours. But I think just calling is somewhat standard. And not loving this big bet, but with a pair, with the flush draw now, so not going anywhere. Hoping to just improve on the river. Not gonna donk out though if we do. And this is an interesting river. If he has jacks, nines, we're still dead, but obviously if they're not flush now, so we're pretty decent looking hand. But I don't think we can jam. This is interesting. This is really interesting. Can we still jam this? Pocket nines is my main concern. I don't think he has jack nine too much. Obviously he doesn't have pocket fours when we block that. There's only one combo left of that. I think we still jam this queen 10 weaker flushes. If he has pocket nines, so be it. Hoping we fade the snap. Get the very quick call. His pocket queens though, which is good for us. Win another stack there. And table 1, we flooded the ace king pre. We see a c-bet and a double barrel on the double flush draw board. I'm just gonna jam this in. Yes, we lose against aces and pocket queens and king queen, but there's not that many combos left of king queen and lots of flush draws that we want to deny equity against. Combo draws that maybe we have to call off. King x of diamonds, king jack, king 10 that could potentially call off here. You see a snap, which is not ideal, and he has queens, but you know, we're never really getting away from that hand. So unfortunately, a stack going to opponent here. But you know, queens against ace king on a king queen flop. Not really getting away there, and I would like to sit back in. If we 4-bet pre, money goes in, we lose the same kind of way. So not too much we can do there. We have ace queen off on table number 3. And going to bump this up, make it 7.5 bigs. And also thanks for the follow, Raffaello3000, another Raphael in the chat, or another Raphael. Good to have you, man. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. You guys can also check out our Discord. Just type ! Discord in the chat, and you can join our Discord. It's completely free. You can discuss poker hands, strategy related to poker, kind of anything there. Find out about the different coaching options that we offer. And so here, when the ace comes, it's a decent card. He improves to ace 4, ace jack. We block ace jack suited, which is great. So I think ace queen, ace king remain just barreling. Could size down here as well. I think both options are fine. But I think I'm just gonna barrel for the large sizing. If he has like ace x of diamonds, he's always going to call. Maybe a jack. Might consider calling one more. Just fold though. We take down another pot. Yeah, ace king obviously a bit of unfortunate hand, having 0 equity. Isn't ideal once you get it all in on the turn, but you know, it's the only hand. And as I said again, if we call, we just have to call so many rivers. Or most rivers anyway, so on such a dynamic board I don't mind just getting the money in. Table 5, we open raise into the potential recreational who is in the big blind. Seems to be playing tight though, so not like a crazy recreational or anything. We flop an open-ender on a somewhat dynamic board. Can go either way here between bet and checking. I think I'm just gonna start out with a c-bet, put some pressure on under pairs. And obviously we still have that open-ender going for us. See a call. We turn an ace. We're not gonna see with many ace-x hands, but with the open end, they're still just going to double barrel here. I think there's a lot of pair plus draws that could call. One more bet. I'm gonna go for the pot bet. Double barrel here. We take it down. Table 3 of ace king. Gonna open raise the button. Face a 3 bet. We are 130-ish big blinds deep. So we can either call or 4 bet. I think I'm going to actually just call this time. Not sure how happy I am 4 bet calling it off this deep. And the hand that can go either way. I don't mind taking the conservative route and then trying to see what's going on. Post obviously a small bet. Very easy call with ace king high. Even against a turn barrel, we have a reasonable hand to call again. We ahead of all the bluffs, we block aces and kings. So depending on the sizing he goes, we might even call one more. He checks it over though. Could consider turning our hand into a multi-street bluff, but you know, we're still ahead of all the ace queens, ace tens, king queen, queen tens. So I don't mind just checking and keeping in some of those worse hands. On the 7 run out now, we definitely can have 7x. We block ace 7 suited. He could have 8-7 suited, 7-6 suited, pocket jacks. That sometimes plays this way. We can also bluff catch if we see a small bet. Ideally we just see a check and we just check it back. And win against 10-9, definitely a hand he should have bluffed, so happy to not see him bluff it there, and happy to take down another pot. And no more other hands at the moment. Let's see if somebody's even watching on YouTube. Just recently added the YouTube Twitch, but yeah. I think a few people are watching over there as well, so that's good to see. Hope everybody on YouTube is enjoying the stream. And then yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in on Twitch as well. Table 5, we made a slightly loose open raise from the small blind. A board where you can play bets and checks. Just gonna check my absolute nothing hand here. Goes check, check. I think I'm gonna delay my hand. I'm gonna delay the bluff to the river, though we could just throw the small step, but without absolutely any equity. I think I don't mind just delaying it to the river. And now going for the bluff. Trying to get him forward anything that's not a king. But we get here by a king. Well, not really expecting to fold a king. And no other hands at the moment. Still at table 4. Seems like the table is breaking. Gonna go for the slightly wider open raise there with the 6-5 off. Seems like the big blind is a bit more on the tighter side, so I'll take advantage of that. See the defend, we see a pretty decent flop for us. We can go small bet, large bet here. Let's start off with a small bet. See a fairly quick call. King comes in on a turn. Not gonna barrel under cards to the 9 here. Wanna have over cards to the 9. Some sort of equity, maybe a gut shot. To barrel here. You could occasionally throw this in if you think your opponent is really, really weak, but don't really see that. Now the 9 comes in. He pots it fairly quickly. I mean, we have 6 high. That will obviously happen occasionally if you open raise a little bit wider. Speaking of that, I think I'm also going to take the slightly loose open raise with a Jack 6 suited. Jack 7 normally the cutoff, but again, both the button and the small blind seem a little bit tighter. Big blind seems aggressive enough, but we're still trying. And yeah, sometimes we're gonna hit top pair like here. Don't mind checking this back though. We have one of the, obviously the worst jack X we could have. Big blinds can have more 4x, so we have to be somewhat careful in protecting our jack back range with one of the weaker jack X hands that we could have is decent strategy. We turn the gut shot, we see a large bet. Blind is to main, he just called twice now, unless he goes very, very large on the river. We're gonna have to call way wider obviously than the jack. Most of our calling range is gonna just be ace high, king high. And 5 coming in on the river, he could have value bet a 5, thinking that we don't check back, any middling pair, but he's gonna have a decent amount of draws. He goes for the overbet. Not loving this, but I think I'm gonna station him down here. 5 might go smaller on the turn, and then a 4 might feel slightly uncomfortable on this river and go for smaller sizing. Obviously, he should still go for a large sizing, but I think we're gonna try, and yeah, he does have the complete airball, so this worked out quite well here. Gonna keep in mind that this guy potentially aggro. So aggro versus checkbacks his hand. I don't hate this play against population, but probably not really a bluff in theory with absolutely nothing, not even a heart in his hand. Just fires because we check back, it seems like. And against the same opponent with a three bettable hand, a little bit deeper, so I'm gonna size this up pre. And we get the 4-bet, gonna call against this guy. This guy was aggro enough. Sizing is reasonable given how deep we are. Not loving it, but in these positions we just have to call king 10 if we 3-bet it. Flop a gut shot. We're gonna have ace queen always, that he never really has. He's obviously gonna have the aces, the queen's advantage. Goes for a small c-bet. Could play a click raise here, but I think king 10 we're just gonna call. And unfortunately this is not the turn we were looking for. Might slow him down though, which allows us to potentially see one more river. But I think he's also going to check back a decent amount of ace-x, so we have to be careful. Just jams it in, that's definitely not a play. Makes our life really, really easy. But yeah, losing a reasonable size pot there. Table 2 we check call. The flop we see a barrel on the turn. Gonna check call one more time. And interesting run out. We have the ace of hearts blocker with the pocket 10s blocker, and our opponent just checks back and we win. Take that. Table 5 we open raised. Gonna go for check back here, under pair to the 6 and the 9. We don't have a spade in our hand. Don't want to float a pot with a hand like this one. He checks it over to us and the king. Just going to check this one behind. One more time, trying to get to showdown. Expecting him to check a lot of his strong hands still on the turn. Another king. Interesting card for sure. He checks it over. Could we value bet against an ace high on a flush completing? I don't think so. I think we just take our showdown value. And again, people kind of miss those thin value bets. So going very, very thin ourselves, I don't think is the very best play. And the 6-4 we're basically in the button because the other guy's sitting out, so we're going to open raise if it folds to us. And 2 tables are breaking, so I'm gonna look for one more. Not this one. Let's see if there's a decent looking table somewhere. Maybe this one here. I'm gonna replace table 1 that's also breaking with a new table 1. Let's see, table 1 here. Which is this one, perfect. And table 3, we're open raising the king 5 suited. Looks like this table is also breaking, so gonna have to find some new tables. Joining some waiting lists. In the main table, with table 5, open raising the king 6 from MP. Taking it down. And no other hands at the moment. Table 4 should be not this one, it should be this one. Perfect. And now we have maybe even too many tables. But let's go to table 1 for a second now. We have the ace king. Gonna go for a 3-bet blinded blind, obviously. Facing a 4-bet, we're always going to be all in. Opponent is in a tank. And it's just folding. Open raising over here on table 2 and also table 1, the jack 10 off. Taking down here. Still have someone to play over here. Taking it down. Table 3, we have a limp or post. Gonna raise it up to like 5.5 bigs. We take that one down as well. And then table 1, we have a 3-bet against the recreational, who opens in a cutoff, potential recreational, at least a short stack. Let's see. Hopefully we don't see a 4-bet. Opponent's in the tank, which is interesting. And yeah, usually they just fold off the tank for such a while. And we don't have any other hands at the moment. I have actually 7 tables open right now, so I'm just trying to figure out which one I'm going to quit. I think it's the one I have off stream there. Yeah, perfect. Got 6 tables going again, hopefully with some action as well now. This guy seems to be a fish from the stats that he's playing so far, but not sure yet. This guy opens 3x, which is also a sign of a potential recreational. And on table 5 we have the ace queen offsuit. Again, this guy's also short stack, so might also be a recreational. As you can see, games are definitely good at coin poker. Excuse me. We just do get 2 folds. The 3-bet pot going on over on table 4. I think he went open raise, c-bet, check, check, turn. Queen on the river, interesting hand. Yeah, I expect a lot of checks. Carl should have a decent amount of queen x hands. Let's see if we see a big bet or a jam. Just see a big bet. And he takes it down. Sits on 500 big blinds. Dude is definitely having a great session, the way it looks. Open raising the king jack off from the hijack against potentially 1 recreational, maybe 2 recreationals in the... I think I played this guy at 500 yesterday, or 2 days ago, on Sunday I should say. Maybe won a jackpot or something. If I remember, he punted off a stack to me. At least that's what my note says. Maybe I'm confusing this guy with someone else, and I just played him in a challenge, but could potentially be recreational as well. Alright, I think I'm gonna go for another 20 minutes or so. See if we can get something going. Opening day is 10, we see a 3-bet, we can go for 4-bet, we can go for a call, both options are fine. He goes somewhat smaller. I think I'm gonna go for the call this time, kind of see what develops post. We have a little something, but probably not quite enough to continue here. Against any reasonable c-bet sizing. He's in a tank though, which is confusing. He could just, you know, range bet for small sizing. And goes for the 33 c-bet. King 10 I think is better. We have some better backdoors. I think this hand actually just has to fold, which kind of sucks, but I think it's actually the right play. So just gonna let this one go. At some read that he's weak, we could maybe do something, but I think generally just want to fold. Table 4, we're gonna open raise King 9 off. Oh, sorry, my phone is ringing. I'm gonna answer that later. And also my watch. Gonna go for a small c-bet, even multi-way here with the King 9. So we got a few hands going. Also table 2 with 3-bet, get this low flop. Going for c-bet with the King Queen off. You can have 9s, 5s and 4s, but we have all the over pairs. You can have queens in these positions, queens, jacks, 10s obviously. Well, we still have 2 overs against most of his pocket pairs. See the check raise though. Against that we just have a fold. But I don't mind c-betting King Queen off and then folding to a check raise. If I had King Queen suited, it's a bit more dicey folding against a check raise. Table 1, we also went for a 3-bet. Really nice board there. Going for a c-bet. We see a quick call. We have the heart in our hand. I think I'm just always going to barrel this hand for around 20 bigs. Putting max pressure on even hands as weak as as strong as a queen. We do take it down, which is always great. So losing some pots here, winning some pots there. Nothing too crazy. Table 1 we open raise the ace 4. Get a 3-bet, I have to fold. Table 4 we open raise from MP because we're 6-handed here. We get a flat from the button. We go heads up. Flop top pair with a backdoor flush draw, still just going to range check. He's gonna have 5s and 3s. I don't really. And obviously his range is gonna have ace jack, king jack suited, and not hands as weak as queen jack off. When he checks backdoor, I'm quite happy. Could go either way here. I don't really know this guy. Against the passive guy, I think I prefer just betting out myself. If I know he's aggressive, he could check as well, but don't see too many hands that check back and I'll start blasting. Like, so you're checking back King 10 off clubs and just blasting now. If I checked him twice, don't think so. Obviously he can have pocket 7s. We will call 1 against this raise, but if he fires the river, I think we just have to fold. Hoping he basically just gives up. This is an interesting turn, as I don't really see him like check back flush draw, raise the turn, and we have the flush draw blocker, but obviously 7 6s, 6 5, 7 6, the bluff raise the turn now got there. 8 7 could be in there. It's tempting to turn our hand into a bluff raise jam. But then I need him to fold a set or straight. Does he check back a flush draw, raise the turn? Maybe. I just don't really see bluffs in this line. So I need him to get a good fold. I don't really see any pocket fours even got there. Yeah, I think you just gotta be disciplined and let it go there. Bit unfortunate, but not really our runner. That's why we could check again on the turn. But I think against passive guys, maybe just betting and hoping for a good runner is better. Queen Jack, here I'm going to 3-bet. See what my opponent does. Going for the pot c-bet on table 3. What I really want to polarize, and I had like ace-5 can get in there sometimes. See a call though. Gonna then I think just give up on the turn. Once he checks to me without really picking up any equity, the 8 kind of helping him more than it does me. So just gonna check this back. And then folding the river. Table 2 we went for a somewhat loose 3-bet. Going for a c-bet, we get a call. Interesting runner to potentially just barrel it off here. We block the king 10. It's gonna be hard to put us on many bluffs here. So gonna fire one more. Should put a6 in quite a tough spot. And yeah, we take it down, which is great. Table 4, we open to c-bet blindy blind, check check turn. Gonna go for just a block bet on the river and taking it down. Table 1 with potential hands that we could defend depending on the open raise size that our opponent chooses. And yeah, in the late position we're definitely going to defend it, especially since this guy looks to be a recreational, at least he's short stacked. But it just falls all the way around. We have the king queen now. We see an open raise from under the gun. This is quite close whether or not we want to go for the 3-bet here. I think I'm actually going just a flat call because I think the recreational might be a the big blind might be a recreational, so I don't mind just going for the flat here. Flat top pair. We also went for the min raise as an ante out there, right? So there's a few more reasons to potentially flat call this. And decent flop obviously could get us in trouble if we see a triple barrel here. Don't think I want to play many raises, like I only really have pocket 3s, occasionally pocket jacks. Goes check check though, which is interesting. I don't really see him checking back a better hand. And it's somewhat suspicious to see a check on this flop, so just gonna go for the overbet on the turn myself for value. See the quick call. And honestly, I'm tempted to go super thin there and go for another overbet against a snap call. Could he have ace queen, pocket jacks, trapping sometimes maybe, but I think I'm just gonna go for the max value there. We've been playing quite aggressively, me and this guy, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a hero by like ace jack, queen 10, queen 9 here. Could have king queen himself obviously, but yeah, just going for another bet there. Maybe sizing down on the river exploitatively could be good, but felt like this guy could potentially station me down. For the same reason on table 4 I'm going for the flat call with the recreational, potentially. 1 second guys, music stopped. And we do flop. Well, I'll just play those hands and I get the music back because we have a few hands now. Pocket 8s with the recreational behind, but the board is quite dynamic. Oh, this is close. What do we want to call or 3-bet? Going to call actually, just bottom set. And you see the overbet on the flush completing. This is scary guys, this is scary, but we're not folding. Just hoping the river pairs. We're not going anywhere though. 7 on the river. If he goes all in now, this is super tough. He just mucks though, so happy about that. Happy about that. Not sure what he had there, unfortunately we don't see it. Alright, table 3. We go for the 3-bet with ace king. See if we get some action there. We get the 4-bet, 100 big blind deep, easy, just jam. And see if we get called or not. We don't mind either outcome really, unless he snaps us off with the aces obviously. He's in the tank, which is interesting. Maybe calls off with ace queen. Wouldn't mind that obviously. But yeah, he just folds. Not too surprising. Table 5 with the pocket jacks. And we're open raising it up. We're raising it up, open raising it up. Talking for too long now, gonna end the stream soon now, so gonna play the last few orbits. There, let's play the pocket jacks. I think afterwards we're gonna sit out. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you have any last questions, now is the time. We get a 3-bet, so this could potentially be a spicy last hand. And definitely just calling. I don't want a 4-bet stack off early position against the blinds. Hoping for a decent flop. It's a low flop. Could be a spicy one. Could become somewhat iffy. Goes for a small 3-bet, that's a small c-bet, so we're quite happy. Don't think I want to raise there. There's not too many worse hands that he can call with. Obviously get some protection, but we just own ourselves against his higher pocket pairs. So just gonna play call and hope for a low card in the turn, which we do get, which is great. See a large barrel now. Basically putting our hand into difference. It could sometimes have pocket 10, sometimes ace 9 suited, but that's a stretch, so we're only beating bluffs at this point, but maybe chopping with checks, being ahead, so you know, we definitely still have a easy slam down call. This run out we have pocket 4s, 5-4 suited, ace 5. We have a lot of strong hands, so if he jams there, it's really not looking good. Because he's still gonna have all the strongest hands. And I think this is one where a spot where you have to be somewhat disciplined and just let it go. I don't think people are really bluffing. Like clubs give up, ace 5 got there. Is he really just triple barreling off king queen and then, you know, king jack of spades, which even blocks? So this guy didn't 3-bet the whole session. Potentially recreational. I think that note is actually wrong. He played like 29-20. No 3-bet so far, so just gonna make a tight fold. Let me know in the chat if you guys would make that fold or if you would just shrug and call here. But I think we have quite a few better hands there to call. So as I said, gonna see that next big blind on all the tables, and then we'll have a look at the session results, see if we made a profit and how much we made, how much closer we got to the challenge. We lost a few pots there towards the end. Table 1 should now be this one, because one of the other tables already closed. Ace 5 against the recreational, I'm gonna raise it up to around 5 blinds. Hopefully not see a 3-bet. Guys in the tank. Sorry about the music, but with any stream anyways, I'm not gonna bother. Yeah, definitely just folding, not even wasting any time there. When you see the limp 3-bet, it's usually quite a strong range. We don't want to call with marginal hands out of position against such a range. Alright, just have a few folds now. Recreation is sitting down on table 4, but unfortunately we were just leaving now. So I'm just gonna fold those hands and then have a look at the results. You can load that up as I guess in a second. Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure to check out our Discord, exclamation mark Discord. Let me type that in for you. It's completely free. Discord, it's not working for some reason, the command, so let me just post a link for anybody who's interested. As I said, completely free. You can, you know, post some hand histories there, get some feedback from the other students, get some feedback from me or the other coach, Peter, talk about any topic, any poker related topic, get notified whenever we go live with the next stream. Pretty much anything that you want poker related is there. So yeah, I can also post it in a YouTube chat if somebody's watching there. And then we're gonna play the last hand there with the pocket 4s, if it folds around to us on table 2. Again, stay. Not sure if it's a recreational or not. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Last hands. Oh, we actually got pocket aces on the other table. We got pocket aces over here for the last hand. So for everybody that waited, hope it was worth it. Let's see if we can get some action as well. Until we wait there, let's go back to the pocket 4s. Gonna go for a large c-bet on this board. Really good board texture for me. Gonna apply a lot of pressure right away. See if we get the fold and then go back over to the pocket aces on the other table. Here we do. So let's go over to table 3. Gonna see with the pocket aces there on a 10-9 flop. We didn't get any 3-bet, just to defend from the big blind. Pretty good board texture for us. EP against big blind. We can probably just range bet. Unfortunately, we just take it down though. And yeah, I think I'm gonna pull up the results. So bear with me. We gotta go to the statistics. Coin poker, and then just for today. There we go. Let me switch to USDT so we can see that, which is not working. Awesome. Why is it not working? Oh, that's great. We want to see all the hands from today while I close the last tables. Oh, we also have pocket queens, so we have one more hand, guys. While I try to get up, not sure, maybe it works in blinds. Alright, pocket queens, we open raise, last table, last hand. I guess we'll just have to look at it in blinds. Also doesn't work in euros. Great. Alright, let's see with the pocket queens, last hand. And then we look at the results. Oh, seems like we just get a fold. we get the defend. Again, pretty good looking board for us. Going to the c-bet, really wide here. And we get a check raise. We're going to lose a stack, are we going to win one here at the end? We're quite deep, so don't want to play for stacks here, but obviously still calling on the flop. Loads of potential bluffs. We lose to 3s, deuces, pocket 9s. Now we don't lose. Well, less likely we lose against pocket deuces now. If we bet here, we probably want to bet more polarized in theory. I don't mind actually going small first, and then if he just calls, going for a big bet on the river. He does call, river's an 8, and I think on such a safe run out we can go all the way pot, maybe even over bet. Really put him max pressure on a 9. Don't think he really has a better hand. If he jams over the top, I mean, he never really has a bluff here, but we have a lot of potential, you know, jack 10, queen 10, queen jack with the backdoor here, and we have a lot of bluffs. If he has ace 9, king 9, even 9-8, right? Tempting to hero call here. And that's what I think he mainly has, a 9. So let's see if he can get paid here. Obviously if he get jammed on, we kinda cry for a second, but then just fold. I don't think there's any bluffs in. We do get called, and we should have the best hand here, so nice last hand there. Gonna fold the 5-3 and show you guys the results. There we go. Those are results. So it doesn't show in in USD, but we're up 233 blinds. Ran, you know, decent bit over EV. You definitely got lucky there with the all-in. Maybe here the stats, it shows we won $58. Rake back around $17, let's like $6, $64. A little bit 2.5 blinds, let's say. So decent session. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, talk to you soon. Talk to you next one. Bye bye.